Hello, this is a special live episode of Dragon Wings recorded with our friends Playnation Games in Croydon at their underground venue, The Bonus Stage. We had an incredible time doing this and huge thanks to Dan and Ash for making it happen. This is technically a standalone one-shot episode, but it does tie into the main campaign, so enjoy!
Dragon Wings!
Welcome to Dragon Wings Live! My name's Ian. I'll be your dungeon master this evening. And
What edition are you doing?
we're playing 5th edition. Also for this session, we've gathered suggestions from our Instagram and Twitter followers, from Reddit, and from the audience here tonight. This evening, we'll be using your suggestions for drink names, villainous character traits, magical items, and the names of the players themselves.
Ooh.
Those are some characters. We're going to be leading our usual cast from the podcast through a tale, but this time with brand new characters, randomly drawn. So let's get on and introduce them, starting from the left. If you want to go ahead and say your backstory, Dav.
Hello. I am a gnome monk. Obviously, I've got fiery red hair, kind of a martial artist. I hail from the forest in the Great Dale. And I was headhunted by the Hin Fist, kind of like the halfling version of Hogwarts. And every year they accept a rare student that's not a halfling. I was that student of this year until halfway through the year where this goblin got accepted. All I'm gonna say is this guy was a dick. His name was Goblin Manuel Miranda. I'm here all night. But from that day on, that Goblin Manuel, he just made my life hell. He made it hell. And every time I see a goblin from now on, God, my blood boils. And I just, roam the land, kicking ass. Just being a cocky little shit.
Big. Very nice. And let's draw a name for you. Do you want to pick 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3.
Oh, what is it?
Your name is Derek Tangerine.
I saw that name on Instagram when it came out, and I was just like, God damn it. That wouldn't have been
Excellente. Moving on to Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing a Goliath Ranger who's come from like the far hills. He doesn't really know where he's from. He's a bit of a wanderer. He's a nomad. And Goliath, these like half giant looking fellas, right? So he's about 7 foot tall. He's pretty heavy, stony faced. Doesn't really know his backstory. He's been wandering for a long time, but he's got a pet wolf that looks a little bit like this little guy. It's quite nice. It's quite... Yeah, no, they do like you. It's great. It's
Perfect
great.
for an audio medium.
Yeah,
but...
perfect, yeah. So I've got a puppet, which is a wolf, and he's really cute, if you're listening to this. And he's found himself just wandering around for want of anything better to do because his clan have disowned him. And that's his story. Yeah, real sad. Real sad.
And you're a Goliath.
A Goliath, yeah. A giant amongst most other races.
How tall is he?
He's about 7.5 foot tall.
And I'm around 3'5".
Yeah, it'll be cool. Perfect for a buddy cop movie. It's all good. Yeah.
We've got all the levels covered.
Yeah.
Do you want to pick a name, 1, 2, or 3?
I would like number 1, please.
Number 1 is introducing James Foreskin.
James Foreskin, the Goliath Ranger.
The Goliath Ranger, James Foreskin.
Amazing.
Ranging across the land. Here he comes. It's James Foreskin. Moving on to Harry.
Hello. I'm Harry, and I'm going to be playing a human wizard who started his magical career at the age of 9 when he decided to try and bring back his dead hamster to life because he was heartbroken.
And what was the hamster's name?
It was called Fluffykins,
Aww.
and he couldn't live without it. And then he learnt his trade reading grimoires in his parents' basement. in their semi-detached suburban home.
2 up, 2 down.
He, at the tender age of 17 and a half, has decided to go forth an adventure across the land. But in his heart, he carries a burning loathing for goblins who he believes broke into and robbed his dad's corner shop.
That's a call to adventure, right?
He is
there.
just full of rage about that.
Oh my god.
Well, there's no evidence really, but he's still he's holding on to that belief.
No, it's going to be so like grim and gritty. All the backstory.
Edgy.
Grimdark.
Pick a name, Harry. 1, 2, or 3.
2.
Oh, it's an audience
That's very
suggestion.
discerning.
It's an audience suggestion. Sorry, I should be crediting these. I think they've been audience so far. It's Ken Woodchef.
Little Ken.
Ken Woodchef. Is that right, audience? Ash, is that right? He's given it a thumbs up.
Woodchef.
Thank you, Ash.
Ken Woodchef.
Ken Woodchef.
But he's only 14 and he doesn't know how.
Ken Woodchef, no relation to James Foreskin.
I like Harry just turned to me when his notebook was like, sorry, what was Tom's name? Was it Foreskin? So, yeah.
And finally, Hannah.
Hi, I'm a human druid who works for the Office of Druid Affairs, mainly responsible for moss and barking zone issues. Really like filling in a spreadsheet. I really love my job in the office. I love the office. But my boss suggested I should do some field work. So, woo, here I am. I love nature. I don't. That's me.
Lovely. Would you like to pick a name, Hannah? 1, 2, or 3?
I'd just like to say that I did the internet suggestions and almost all of them are men's names. So I'm really excited about which one I get.
Shall I pick some white
No,
cards?
I want number 1.
Number 1. It's only Busby Hammersmith.
Super Hammersmith. I think I got off quite lightly there compared to some people.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. Busby Hammersmith.
Okay. It's like Digby Chicken Caesar.
Yeah. And Ken Woodchef. I want to try and use these as much as possible. This is very good. Now, before we start the adventure, audience, as we have a live audience, we want to make use of you. 2 things for you. Spoilers. This adventure is going to have a few goblins and a few chickens. We like chickens and we dislike goblins. So you're going to represent our character's mindset in this. Whenever I say the phrase, it's a chicken, I want you all to say together triumphantly, hello, chicken. So just try that. It's a chicken.
Hello, chicken.
Very nice. And whenever I say the phrase, it's a goblin, our party hates goblins. So I want you all to freestyle a good 2-second burst of just verbal abuse. Fucking goblin bastard, whatever you want. So just give that a try. It's a goblin.
Oh, yeah, you fucking goblin wanker, what you fucking?
Off. Good. Very good. So let's just try, give that a quick trial. You walk into a room. There are 3 doors. Behind the first door is an orc. Behind the second door, an ogre. Behind the third door, it's a chicken.
Hello, chicken.
Behind the chicken, it's a goblin. Okay, right, very good. Lovely. Excellent. Let's make a start.
That's the show.
That's the show. Thanks for coming,
Thanks for
everybody.
coming.
Cheers.
The morning air is crisp and cold and quiet. On all sides are low, rolling hills across untamed meadows stretching into the distance. A thin mist hangs over the wet ground. These are the green fields. And you haven't had much to do recently. Currently, though, you're hanging over the edge of a cliff from the spokes of a horseless carriage.
Is that all of us hanging from the cliff?
All
or
of
some
you
of us
hanging
in the carriage?
all of you hanging from the rear spokes of the carriage.
Okay.
Hanging over the end.
Is
It's
there
like
a
the Italian job.
driver in the carriage?
There is a driver in the carriage.
Precariously balanced, presumably?
He is currently asleep drunk.
Oh.
And we'll come to that in a second. Just to back up a little bit, you've been traveling for several weeks now, and as experienced adventurers, you're level 6, right? Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
very
That's all
good.
right. It means we're quite strong.
It's quite strong.
That's good.
You've taken a few jobs along the Sword Coast. There was that convoy escort for a rather large, rosy-cheeked baronet knight. His armor was shiny and rather ceremonial looking. You spent more time fetching him booze than fighting anything, though he was rather amorous and grabby when he was drunk. So you all had to fend him off at some point. After that, you then procured a map etched onto a sheet of petrified bark The route was stated to lead to a forgotten mine housing a legendary set of giant forged plate mail, but it was actually just a promotional treasure hunt map from a chicken wing vendor. The treasure turned out to be a squeaky toy and a voucher for 50% off your next half a dozen wings.
Oh,
Nice though. Like
that's
that.
good.
Did anyone want that? Does anyone want the toy? You want the toy?
Yeah, I love that. Love a good bargain.
Derek Tangerine's taking the toy.
Derek's doing that.
Nice.
He's cocky.
The toy, by the way, it's a goblin.
Do I shout as well?
I love like James Foreskin's vitriol whenever that's the goblins. Perfect. Frustrated then, you actually wanted a bit of action investigating rumours of an earth elemental running amok. Strayed from the north. The plea was posted on a tavern notice board. It turned out to be old news, but by the time you got there, somebody had dealt with it months ago. And on arrival, the village folk gave you a small cask of some heady liqueur out of pity. The drink was a screaming organism.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like vodka, grog, cranberry juice, and a whelk.
A singular Welsh.
Yeah, a singular whelk.
Who was that suggested by?
That was by Ash.
Oh,
Again,
nice.
another one by
Thanks,
Ash.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you, Ash. You also hired a horse and carriage to take you south through the Snakewood, and that's where you were also given your driver. He's an old gnome named Gert.
Oh.
Thank you, Amber. And he has, just to pick a villainous trait suggestion, the friendship of a small horse.
Makes sense.
The carriage, thank you very much, Bethan, on Instagram. He has a small horse with him. So this gnome simply insisted that his horse named Fritz McQuicksticks. Him and Fritz McQuicksticks pulling the carriage. Decided to agree to take you south through the Snakewood.
So wait, there was a tiny horse pulling the carriage.
Tiny horse pulling the
Or
carriage.
was the driver with a tiny pet horse?
No,
On the running board.
the tiny horse is pulling the carriage, and it was an absolute nightmare.
And it's a
Wasn't going
regular
very
sized
quickly.
carriage.
It's a regular sized
I
carriage.
think I know why we've ended up over the side
Yeah.
of the cliff.
Yeah, that was an accident waiting to happen.
Just so you
really.
know. But it looks like the gnome tapped into your cask of drink while driving, and you can still hear him snoring on the driver's perch. And as I said, the back end of the carriage is currently hanging perilously over the edge of the cliff, and the horse has unlatched himself and bolted.
Gone very far.
Some friend.
It's a clever
Legs.
horse. Yeah, okay.
But you're hanging from the rear spoke, and it has been creaking ominously for the last 10 seconds. It's been a bad week.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
right.
Could do with some of that screaming organism right now, couldn't I? I would like to try and wake up Gert, the driver,
Okay.
by hollering at him. I'm not a fan. Here, Gert! Gert, wake up, you little bastard! Please! Gert!
Could I just ask, is the horse anywhere near?
That's
No,
bolted, right?
you can't
He's
see
gone.
McQuizzlesticks
Oh,
anywhere.
damn it, because I do have Speak with Animals as a spell. I was hoping maybe he could give us a hand, but...
Well, hey, do you want to try and call him back?
Yeah, okay. I cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And in Horseish, I shout, any answer?
McQuizzlesticks is back on the scene.
I'm like, okay. We seem to have ended up over the side of this sort of ravine. Is there any way you could give us a hand?
I'd been looking. What's a horse's noise?
It's only a little horse, though.
It's only a little
High
horse.
As good as we're going to
Yeah,
get.
little horse
I
high
think.
voice.
I'd been looking for an excuse to get away from the gnome. Says the tiny horse.
I know. I really support you in that decision, and I'm absolutely fine to give you a hand once we're up. But is there any way you could just sort of pull us back from the edge of the ravine so we don't die? And then I promise I'll do anything you want.
The tiny horse grips the carriage, and you just hear it scuffling. You can't see it from your vantage point over the cliff, but you can hear this kind of ineffectual scuffing from this tiny horse.
can
Shane
I-
is so
Is
tiny.
there any way you could pull a bit harder at all?
You hear
No?
more furious scuffling coming from the other side.
Hang on. How's he talk?
Ken,
Get
which
into roll.
one?
Into roll, Ken. Come on.
Ken.
Come on, Ken.
Hang on a moment. I've got an idea. I'm going to try and cast enlarge on the horse.
Oh, nice.
To make it stronger.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just do it?
I just do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's now, the horse is now, well, depends how small this horse is. Now its size has doubled. So does that mean it's our normal horse?
It's a good thing, though.
Tiny horse, right?
Yeah.
So
how-
it's just gone to...
yeah.
Sorry, you were just, for the podcast, you were imagining a sort of hamster, but as a horse. So now it's more of a small cat
Guinea pig.
size?
Yeah,
Guinea-
let's go with
okay.
large cat.
Its size has doubled and its weight is multiplied by 8. So
That's a dense horse. That's a dense horse.
I hope that doesn't give it any kind of complex.
It's
or...
like a neutron star of a
Yeah, exactly. It's the old cube something rule.
Okay.
Okay.
Using my monkish reflexes, can I just try and Bruce Lee up the carriage?
Could I just ask a quick question? Did you expect it to derail this quickly?
Yeah, just-
Hanging off the cliff. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, don't sort this.
Sure, you can do an athletics check, Derek.
10.
It's good enough, Tangerine. You scuffle your way up the carriage and
Tangerine is so happy with this. He's just like sprightly, just jumping off. Up not off the carriage, that's fantastic. Off the side of the carriage, it's a sight to behold, but he gets up to the top.
you leap up
Yeah, that's
nimbly.
impressive.
And that's when
That's
the
impressive.
carriage begins to shift slightly.
The wrong way, presumably.
The wrong way.
Oh, boy.
So I'm not sure if I trust Derek, but I do trust the horse. So I just asked the horse, could you just grab Derek and just kind of give us a quick pull?
The horse
Yeah,
begins
give us a pull.
pulling furiously. I'm going to let it do a kind of regular without giving it any like particular negative to that. There's no effect.
Just Derek is at the top and now just sees this large cat-sized horse pulling a carriage.
Not very well, trying to. Yeah.
You just stood there like
Can you
looking at this.
throw down
looking-
at rope? Can you throw down rope?
Here, Ken, could you go pull on that carriage for us? Get us up, mate.
The name's Derek, but
That's fine.
Derek Tangerine.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
There's a...
Soz, Ken.
Yeah, can I grab a little rope from my adventurous pack, tie it to is there a tree nearby?
Yes. Let's say there is a tree.
There is
absolutely.
a tree. Do the old lasso, throw it down.
All right. There's now a rope dangling by the side of the three of you. Wicked.
Can I reach it?
Okay. James Foreskin's going for it.
First bit.
Humongous, this
Yeah,
Goliath.
Goliath
Probably
just-
like most of the problem of this carriage.
Probably
hanging down
the
the way that it
Goliath.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I jump onto it or try and grab the rope?
You can jump onto the rope if you
I
want.
wanna-
Yeah.
yeah. Go for the rope.
Absolutely, yes. Go for, you can take an athletics check, but
Athletics.
with, it's a bit of a climbing rope, so take advantage on that.
Okay. And would you say, are we in like a woodland? We're in a green field. Is this forest? What is
You
this?
are on the edge of a forest.
Can we cancel? I'm saying this because I'm a ranger. I like forests and I'm really good in forests.
Right.
So I get X bonuses if I do stuff. I fucking love a forest.
Fucking love a forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm close enough to the forest. I can see it.
So what are you've already got advantage on this. Advantage, by the way, audience, so that means that he's going to roll twice with his 20-sided die, take the higher of the two. So that would give him probably a better roll. Like he gets to pick the best of the two. In what way is the forest going to, I just want to understand
Makes
this.
me more keenly aware of how good I am at athletics.
Plus
Yeah,
two. Plus
exactly.
two. Have
Love a
plus
bit of
two.
photosynthesis. No, I get to double my proficiency bonus, which is pretty sweet.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, it's really
great.
cool.
So that's
So-
another, you plus 3 proficiency.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah,
another
so I'm
plus
going to
3,
add.
right.
So yeah, I'm going to add 6 to this, and I'm going to add another 6 to that, and I get 2. Oh, I can't do addition.
And I get maths.
Oh, yeah. 23.
23, it's good enough.
Here, boys, done grabbed onto this rope, haven't I? Watch me climb it.
Ken Hammersmith, what was your name? Bugsby.
Hammersmith.
It's such a crazy name, I can't read it. Bugsby Hammersmith and Ken Woodchef. You see,
Actually, sorry to interrupt, but it's Busby.
Busby, sorry. Busby Hammersmith. And Ken Woodchef, you see James Foreskin, the Goliath, climb nimbly up the carriage. He's out of trouble. You hear the spoke creak again.
Okay. I'm going to die, aren't I?
You know, you can do this. Come on,
Okay,
little Ken.
I'm going to swing. I'm going to jump. Okay, here goes.
Right. This is the human wizard. Trying a
14-year-old.
gymnastic feat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we adventuring with a 14-year-old?
Puny.
This is like a safeguarding issue.
it's gonna be- yeah.
Straight up.
17 and a half, thanks.
Oh,
17.
Oh, it's that skin of yours, so smooth.
Okay. That is a 17.
17. It is good enough.
It's all right for
You
me.
climb up,
Made
and
it.
that's just as the
Oh, thank goodness.
spoke snaps. Hammersmith, you begin sliding down the spoke. You can roll a strength saving throw.
Oh,
Can
really?
I help her? Can I reach out and try and grab her?
You're already on the side at
Can
this
we
point.
throw it a rope?
No, Derek's got this, I think. As a gnome, he's got some kind of magic powers, so he's gonna.
Done.
He's a
You're
magic
free.
gnome.
He's a magic gnome.
He's a magic
Yeah.
gnome.
So to encourage this tiny cat-sized horse,
Still struggling.
he's gonna make
Oh.
an illusion of a massive pile of hay.
Okay.
And then so he's gonna tie a rope around this cat-sized horse,
Yeah.
tie it to the carriage, and then make an illusion of a giant pile of hay so that the horse goes towards the hay.
Needless to say, Busby, that this is all under control. Give us a minute.
Horses like hay.
Whilst the 7.5-foot very strong Goliath stands on watching
No, I think-
impassively.
I think the tiny horse has got this.
The tiny now cat-sized horse actually rolls a crit. It's a 20. So the carriage almost sails through the air as the horse kind of flips it over. You go sailing with it, and you land roughly on the ground.
I would like to say that I'm delighted about that because I rolled a 1. So
Nice.
it would have been a very boring 90 minutes for me as I lay dead at the bottom of the canyon.
The gnome Gert, on the other hand, is still asleep now, just lying face down on the ground. But you are safe.
We did it.
Well,
We
I
did it. You
Derek
started
Tangerine did it again.
it. Derek, I'll give you that. That's 1-0 to you. That's 1-0.
Busby is just hugging her knees on the floor.
Teamwork. Lovely teamwork.
No teamwork.
Well done, everyone.
So,
Good to see the team cohesion already.
yeah. And presumably, have we been adventuring together for a little while? This like mismatch,
Yeah, how did you guys meet?
ragtag bunch of ne'er-do-wells. I don't know. Have we been together for a little while? We've done a few bits and pieces, right?
Yeah, I was just desperate to impress my boss, and then you said there was an adventure, and I just thought, well, I could do it.
You've been doing so well. Yeah.
Just wanted to get out of my parents' basement, really. and actually, I'm having a cracking time so far. So thank you.
I was en route to a local martial arts tournament, and then you said, "Do you want to come on an adventure?" And I said, "Yeah, you're tall."
Nice. Yeah.
So
And here we are.
here we are.
Here we are. I'm going to go and slap that gnome a week.
All right. You head towards the gnome, and actually that's when you hear a voice speak.
Ooh.
What's it saying?
Just a couple of
hello, chicken.
just a couple of feet away. It's a chicken.
Hello, chicken.
And the chicken says, "Yes, you'll do just fine."
That chicken can talk.
Did you cast that spell on all of us?
No,
Busby?
you didn't. And actually, the chicken is wearing an empty, looks like a potion vial around its neck. And it says, "I'm on a mission from the future." And then it says, "Only joking, I'm not really. But I can speak. Common and infernal."
Wow. Go to chicken school, was it?
It says, "Yeah, you're just engaging it normally." Yeah, it just says, "Yes, that's right. No, not at all. In fact, I must be brief, for this potion gives me intelligence and comprehension beyond mortal understanding. Though its use is limited, I should have another minute or so before I revert."
Oh, okay.
What do you need to tell us?
Well, it's very important. Just chosen my own name. I would like to be known from now on as Pepperina Sparkle Gem.
Yay!
Suggested by Pepperina Sparkle Gem from Instagram. Thank you very much, Pepperina. Please call me Pepperina Sparkle Gem from now on.
Okay,
I
Pepperina Sparkle
do
Gem.
originate from another place. I'm not sure how we got here, though my people are in need.
As in chickens. Your people are chickens.
Yes, chickens and elves. We live alongside one another in harmony in an elven enclave. Years ago, the killing ceased. They're now vegetarian and we support each other in a utopic society.
Oh, lovely to hear.
Sounds lovely, yeah.
And before you, you just forgot my accent. Before you run out of proper talk, what do you want us to do?
Well, several hours ago, there was an explosion, then an attack from a group of demons. If you follow the road to the south, my people will reward you with riches and arcane power. By the way, my village's name is Poultryton.
This is perfect. This is exactly what we've been looking for.
Please, you must
course.
hurry. You cannot miss it. Save the chickens, save the world. And then it just, the kind of intelligence fades from its eyes and it just begins clucking and pecking
And
around.
it's a chicken.
Is it a normal sized chicken?
It's a normal sized chicken.
Pick up the chicken,
Not used to
Yes.
that.
put it in the back of the carriage,
Yeah.
and then
The carriage, by the way,
Is it-
it's broken.
oh,
The rear spoke had snapped, and actually after that flip by the horse, it's completely unusable.
take the chicken out as a little gnome, get on the little horse, and just start.
With chicken under one hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Before he trots off, I just want to grab the potion bottle from around its neck. Are there any clues there as to where this semi-sentient chicken might have come from?
Did they say where? Did they say where? Was it south? Did they say?
It said Poultryton. But I was just sort of wondering
Poultryton.
who can make such a strong potion to literally make a chicken sentient. They sound like someone I don't want to fuck with.
Am I able to track the chicken as a ranger, as an expert tracker?
Yes.
I want to try and find where the chicken came
The
from.
famed forest animal, the chicken.
Yeah, the forest chicken.
Famed Goliath Ranger James Foreskin. Can you do a survival check for me,
I
please?
100% can do a survival check.
So you can peer around the ground.
Yeah, 15.
15, yeah.
Nice.
You can see these kind of tiny little chicken tracks,
chicken tracks.
heading off slightly southeast
Cool.
off the path.
Southeast. Here, I think Poultryton might be southeast of here. Guys and girls.
Have any of us heard of Poultryton? Do we know that?
You can all roll a history check to see if you've heard of this place before.
4 for Mr. Foreskin.
4 from Foreskin.
16 from Derek.
Yep.
I was really looking forward to being good at all this kind of like intelligence-based stuff with a wizard, but that was a natural one, so I don't know that.
It's a cheeky 19
A
from
cheeky
Busby.
19.
Oh.
She's a bookie.
Busby, Hammersmith, and Derek Tangerine, you know the area like the back of your hand. You've never heard of Poultryton.
Guys, I've never heard of Poultryton.
Me neither.
Yeah,
Me
what
neither.
is it?
And I know this town like the back of my hand covered in cloth.
I mean, we can follow it, can't we? I found his tracks, and I let out a sharp whistle.
Yeah.
And my pet wolf comes sort of bounding out of the
Have
woods.
you got a name for your wolf again?
I haven't got a name for my wolf.
Would you like a name for your wolf?
I would love a name for my wolf.
We've got loads of suggestions, so I want to try and burn
Yeah.
through some of them. Here you go. Pick 1, 2, or 3.
I would like to pick number 3, please.
3 is Geth.
Yay! Just
So a
Geth,
friend of
Geth
ours.
the wolf. Nice. Did Geth suggest that?
It says Ian from off the internet. I
Nice.
feel like that's a plug because my
The
name's
horse
Ian.
is called Frix McQuicksticks. Here, Geth, have a sniff of this chicken, would you? Just tell me, can you find where a chicken? Can you follow these tracks?
That means yeah.
Yeah. Geth and I have a bond that goes beyond the mere connection between a pet and its master.
This is deep.
Yeah. I thought, full disclosure, people, we've been together for a little while now.
Lonely James Foreskin
Lonely
ranging
James
in the forest.
Foreskin,
Yeah, okay,
out in the
jeez.
hills, yeah.
Fine.
So can we track? Can we
Yes,
begin
absolutely.
tracking where the chicken came from and follow it?
Yeah.
Also, I would like to put the gnome over my shoulder. I'm taking the gnome.
You can.
I'm taking Gert.
You can lift Gert easily.
Gert, yeah, I'm taking Gert with me.
Yeah, you take Gert the gnome, still sleeping. But you haul him over your shoulder.
Great.
Let's go.
Okay.
Still riding Frix McQuicksticks. Just galloping down.
Lone Star.
Lone Star. Just doing laps of the group.
Nice.
Intimidating them.
What did you call him? Flicks McQuicksticks. What was the name of
Frix
this?
McQuicksticks is the name of the horse.
All right, fine. How long the enlargement spell, by the way? How long is that lasting for?
That lasts for I think an hour.
Good to know. You don't know
Yeah.
that, Tangerine.
Sorry, no. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Enjoy that.
Audience, has it been a minute?
Yeah.
And that's when you witness just this brutal.
The poor horse.
It's just going to take some bludgeoning damage. This poor horse. As you just kind of like sit on it, you hear a little crack.
Oh God!
Fricks! But it's still alive.
Yay!
It looks at you with these just damning eyes.
I cast another illusion of a giant pile of hay and then just slowly walk off, leaving it there.
Bait and switch.
Yeah.
Can you cast as many of those as you want?
Yeah.
You can just
Little
make.
cantrip.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, lovely.
That's cool.
Anyway, you head towards the south. You range slightly off the path with that survival check southeast. And it's not long before you spot something up ahead. Can you all do a perception check?
What's that?
I'm already frightened.
Wisdom perception
I'm
check.
terrified.
17.
Oh, lovely. With my +6
James.
modifier, 17 for me.
Very nice.
Jimmy F.
19 from D Tangerine.
Great.
Ken's got an 18.
Ken's got an 18.
It's got an 18.
Those are fantastic rolls. All of you then are going to notice the 2 bodies lying in the grass.
Oh my goodness
And
gracious.
with those rolls, you can all see that at least one of those 2 bodies is an elf or half elf, judging by the ears, And with those rolls, you can all also spot behind one of the low rolling hills, slightly further to the east, some kind of movement.
Stop. Can you see those bodies?
I was about to do your accent.
It's
I
hard, isn't
can.
it? Can you see that movement off behind them hills? That look over there.
I don't even want to take part in this conversation. I literally just immediately walk behind you and just cling onto one of your legs in tears.
This is quite frightening, actually, isn't it? I didn't even think about the possibility of actually having to do something like this. They're dead, aren't they?
Oh, God.
I think they
Why
might.
are we paired up with these guys?
I'll stand behind you, guys.
What do you reckon we should do then?
Let's just go and beat some people up.
All right. I bet I can beat.
Yeah.
I bet I can beat him up better than you.
I bet I can.
I bet I can
run
beat
up
him.
before this again. Before this, I'm sprinting ahead.
All right. Derek Tangerine's making for the bodies.
Making for the little movement behind them.
Making for the movement.
Yeah.
Okay.
I let a whistle out, and Geth and James also charge off towards the moving bushes, trying to catch up with Derek,
Okay.
not to be outdone.
Has Geth as your wolf? Did you give him like your given family name as well? Is it just Geth as the
Geth-
one in
Geth
him? Or
Foreskin.
Geth
Geth
Foreskin?
Foreskin, yeah.
Okay. Geth Foreskin. James and Geth, the family foreskin.
Yeah.
Can I just
head that way too.
clarify? Are you running towards him with me still clinging onto your leg?
Yeah, it's like when there's a toddler holding onto
Yeah.
like dad's leg, and this kind of, and I've got an unconscious gnome over one shoulder as well.
You're like
This wasn't my intention.
I'm going to jog along too, but only because I'm more frightened of being on my own.
Nice.
It's like, oh God, okay,
Okay.
I'll stay up with them.
So you're all, to be clear, heading
For the movement.
for the movement,
Yeah.
pointedly. All right. It's not long before you can see clearer a tall, cloaked figure striding across the meadows from the east, and slung over his shoulder is a light crossbow. You can't see his face, but he's so tall he would easily meet the eye level of the Goliath.
Ooh, he's a big boy.
Shit, son.
Yeah.
And,
Wait, he's the movement we saw.
He is the movement you saw.
Okay. And he's walking towards us or away from us?
He's walking towards the bodies.
Oh. And the crossbow's just over his shoulder. It's not like cocked
Over his
or
shoulder.
anything.
It is cocked.
Okay.
So
it's
he's
not
still walking
in
with
his
this kind
hands.
of casual
Okay.
gait.
Nice. All right. Stance.
Yeah.
Stride.
Yeah, stride.
Cool.
Walk.
I'm going to keep running, well, sort of hobbling towards him.
Shall we say hello?
We reckon we should go and find out what's what.
All right.
Let's meet in the middle and parlay.
I nod in agreement from behind your knees.
Understood, Busby.
Thank you.
I love that the
Let's
Goliath's
go.
already being used as cover. Sort of thought that was going to happen.
So there's bodies in the middle of the field, and this guy's coming from one end, we're coming from the other, and we're going to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Over the
a
bodies.
it's like a battle between two armies, but between 5 people. Yeah, but you are kind of ranging across the meadow towards him.
Is there any chance to have a look at these dead bodies before he gets to us?
You can change.
You go look at the
Direction, you can
bodies.
go the other way if
I'll
you
chat
want
with
to.
this bloke and we'll be fine.
Wait, nerd, come with me. I'll point to the wizard, or Kenwood Chef.
Well, all right, then, I suppose. I'm not sure I
Kenwood
like that.
Chef. Kenwood Chef.
It's like my job title. All right. Yeah, here I come.
Do you prefer that intonation, by the way, Ken? Is it Kenwood Chef or Kenwood Chef?
It's definitely the former.
Wood chef.
Wood chef.
Unbeknownst to Tangerine.
Wood chef.
All right, so Tangerine, you're going to make for the bodies along with Kenwood Chef.
My mates call me Bones.
And you've got Busby and James
Busby,
Foreskin.
James and Gath.
All right,
Yeah.
and Gath Foreskin. Heading towards the figure. Let's start with Derek Tangerine and Kenwood Chef. As you near the two bodies, you can see that there's an old elf lying with his head resting against the body of another. The other is obviously dead. He's got a huge wound in the neck, and they seem to be alone. The one lying on him, though, is alive, breathing, and clutching his stomach, and you can see that actually there's a crossbow bolt sticking from it.
Oh my goodness. All right. Can I try and heal him?
Yes, how are you going to do that?
With like my hands, and I'll like pull out the bolt
Hands.
and like ideas, and I'll like pull out the bolt and like staunch the bleeding.
Yeah, absolutely.
and,
Do a medicine check.
Are you meant to leave the thing?
Yeah,
no way.
It's a 10.
It's a 10? Okay.
He dies.
You've
Die.
you've definitely made it worse.
Oh, God.
It's like in Black Hawk Down, where
Yes.
he's trying to find the artery. Like,
Yes.
he's just covered in blood.
Lost
at
it,
this
lost it.
Yeah.
But he calls out,
Oh, I'm really, really sorry. Really sorry. Oh gosh. Oh bloody hell.
What are you doing?
Trying to help. Kind of.
Well, don't.
How did this happen? Who did this to you?
Oh, those bastards. Those bastards, they did it to me, the demons.
Demons? What kind of demons?
I'd never seen the likes before in my life.
God, blind, that sounds scary.
Oh, for God's sake.
Deza, what do you think?
I mean, Derek Tangerine's used to seeing blood in his adventuring days, and I think he's gonna get into his adventures pack and just try and heal the wound that Ken made a lot worse.
Yeah, he actually flinches as you reach for medicine after the first. Yeah, you can absolutely have a go if you want to do a medicine check. It's going to be like a stabilization.
14.
14.
Yeah.
You try and use some of the kind of simple rubs and poultices. You don't have any inherent magical ability or healing, but you think he's sort of slightly better for it. He's able to kind of talk through his pain a little bit easier. And he says, "Thank you."
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm sorry for my friend Ken. He's just a bit nervous. His first adventure, really. So
Shoots a glare at you, Ken. In the meantime, let's go back to Busby and James. You haven't seen any of that. You don't know anything about that, but you get close enough to the hooded, cloaked figure to speak.
Do you want to speak to him? Yes, I'm just going to stay here.
Right then, back me up on this one. Hail, traveller. How goes it?
He says, "Very good."
Can't help but see you got a bloody great crossbow across your shoulders there, and turns out there's 2 bodies back there.
2 bodies, you say?
You only hoping for one, was it, or?
I'm hunting escaped workers.
As in other people?
Well, these 2 were criminals.
Wait, workers and criminals are 2 different things. What are you talking about?
Well, we look after them well.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Keeping other people as property, that's not all right.
I'm not interested in your opinion. In fact, now I come to think of it, you 2 would make rather handy workers yourselves.
Oh, now I wouldn't. I would take a moment there and consider what you're doing. You're a big lad, but I've seen bigger, and I put him down just as quick. So take a minute there. Me and Busby down here, we're not to be trifled with.
The figure is going to try and brush past you.
I'm going to try and just like hard shoulder.
Hard shoulder.
I want to win the shoulder off, basically. He's going to be the one that like...
Such a good pissing contest.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're going to call this a contested strength check. So if you want to roll your 20 and add your strength modifier.
Oh, I'm proficient in those.
Should be
We're
quite
still
good
in
at
the
that.
woods. Because those trees, they're dead proud. I don't want to embarrass them.
You're near enough the thicket
Sweet.
to gain the extra oxygen molecules.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. That's not great, though. That's not great. 16.
16 is better than his. Yeah. So how is this a stop or is this a push?
So it's like when you're walking down the street in a bad mood and you're not getting out of anybody's way, and they're the ones that when you knock into them, they move.
Tommy, you're right, mate.
I don't think I am.
Okay.
It's
Right.
been
Had
a long day.
week. All right, fine.
So I'm just going to sort of stand strong with the gnome and Busby and Geth, and he's going to... Is it l'entourage? He's going to knock into me. I told you, mate.
All right. It's a big hit from Team Foreskin. The figure is going to fall. And it actually turns into 2 figures as one falls off the shoulders of the others. It's a goblin.
It was 2 goblins in a trench coat.
Yes.
That's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. And these goblins, and you've seen goblins before, so just explain, they're kind of like a very kind of commonplace, almost like vermin, inherently sort of evil criminal types. Bastards. They tend to live in caverns and things under the ground. You will absolutely know that. These look like roid goblins. They look
juice, have we, lads?
Oh yeah, they look absolutely beefed up, like nothing you've ever seen. Yeah, they look like they've got these long claws, these glowing red eyes, sharp teeth, and they look, I mean, unlike the usual vermin that you as level 6 have absolutely dealt with before, these look rather dangerous.
What are they called?
Goblins.
Well, they haven't said yet. We'll get to that in a second. Let's head back to Derek Tangerine.
I shout from the leg.
Derek Tangerine and Ken Woodchef.
How far away are we from that?
About
Can we see
about
that?
100 feet. You can't see it. It's behind the hill.
Okay. So I point at the dead guy. Who's that then?
My brother.
Oh, I'm terribly, terribly sorry.
About your medicine check, or
I mean, obviously both. I didn't want to exacerbate the situation.
But please, those bastards, they took my boy.
Boy? Where?
And his children.
Gosh, how many?
That's an interesting question to ask.
How many children? For God's sake.
My boy is but one elf, and his children are two.
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from Thulgrissa.
Did you just make that up?
No. But Thulgrissa, and you've done your kind of do I know the area checks. Never heard of it. He then says, near the Tolgrassian woods, just a day's ride to the north. And no way, there's nothing like
know
that.
this area.
You
don't
guys
we?
absolutely know this
Yeah,
area,
that makes
and you've
sense.
never heard of that. Certainly not within a day's ride.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it, mate. And why are you lying to me? It's not a day's ride. I know this area.
You can do Derek Tangerine an insight check just to see if you can. Is he lying to you?
32. 22.
32. I got so excited.
For the non-regular players, 32 is a physical impossibility.
You're going to fall like Darren Brown.
22. You think he is utterly sincere, and he looks at you with a kind of pained miscomprehension. He's still utterly in pain with this bolt sticking through him. He says, we tried to flee with some of the others, but they caught up to us. We're just chefs.
I give you some of my...
Me too. in a sense. Not. I mean, sorry. Go on.
Oh, really?
Oh, of the wood chefs.
Yes.
I get some water out of my bag, give it to him, and I just say, calm yourself. It's okay, we're here.
And he takes a long swig, and he kind of, please, my boy, please save my boy.
What's his name?
He says, his name is... Go on, pick one or two. Two. This one. His name is Jan Yakov Tingelhammer.
That's an unusual name, isn't it? Now,
Very elven.
That is strange.
He decided to change his name by Depot.
I see. Yeah, people do that.
Yep.
All right. Which way did they go? I mean, can we actually hang on? Can I see any signs of like disturbed ground, like tracks?
You can do a survival check,
drag?
Ken. Just a quick survival check.
Okay. That is going to be a 14. 17.
Only 2 tracks, and it's theirs.
Okay.
Back to Busby and James Foreskin.
Here, Busby, you ever seen a goblin like this before?
So
I ain't.
I let go of the leg because although I'm terribly frightened, I really don't like goblins. So I get up and I put on my cloak and I say, now listen here. No.
They leap to their feet, and the one who was speaking to you says, extra chili will take you.
I speak Goblinese, Goblinoid, Goblin,
Yeah.
Just Goblin.
Goblin, I think. Probably.
Goblin.
They prefer, yeah.
Goblinese.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying it out.
Had to take it to that place.
Yeah, so Goblin, in Gobbo,
Yeah.
Look, I fucking hate them.
Okay.
They're bastards. They're
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah.
Here, you little bastards. I'm going to give you a taste of something special, and you ain't going to like it.
He says, you will clean my boots by this day's end. And you can roll initiative.
Oh, lovely.
All of us?
Jubbly.
You can all roll initiative on this.
It's a 20, baby.
20.
Oh, I love
good.
it when you talk dirty to me.
That's a 20 for Busby.
6 for James.
6.
Oh, I need to roll for Gaff as
Yeah.
well.
James
Ken got-
Foreskin gets 6.
Oh, fucking
Ken
hell.
got 15.
Ken got 15.
7 from Tangerine.
That was
7
awful.
from Derek Tangerine.
5 from Gaff.
5 from Geff. Foreskin. All right.
He's not even a good luck charm.
Very good. And just to explain, audience, if you don't know, so the idea of rolling initiative is that it kind of decides, they're in combat now, so it kind of decides the order that they're going to be fighting in. But first up, we've got Busby Hammersmith.
So
These 2 goblins, one of them, the one that was speaking, looks rather, they both look rather sort of thick and deadly. One of them is clutching a skull and has kind of shamanous trinkets.
Shamanic?
And claws. Shamanic is the word I was looking for. Trinkets and things. It looks rather, if you were guessing, a bit spellcasty, just so you know.
shit, son. She says
And also,
nervously.
have you seen the combat light, the red light?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ash. Yeah.
So she stands tall, takes a deep breath, and goes and casts poison spray and deals.
Does she need
Well,
to-
in fact, he needs to take a Constitution saving throw. Actually,
Oh, nice. Are you going for the big boy or the sorceress one?
The sorceress one, don't like the look of
It's
him whatsoever.
Going to be just 7.
Oh, well, he's fucked it, hasn't he? So he takes 13 points of poison damage.
Lovely. Anything else?
No, the poison spray emits from my hand into his face. And then I look at my hand like, oh, God. And then I sort of rapidly retreat.
Busby, I love it.
All right.
Great work.
Anything else, Busby?
No, I just retreat and cry.
Yeah, retreat and cry. Lovely.
What have I done?
We're over to Ken Woodchef, the human wizard. You are about 100 feet away and you hear the unmistakable cry and sound of battle.
I spin around, and luckily, I am a spell sniper of a wizard. So that is actually a thing. So I'm going to shoot a ray of frost across this.
You
this
can't
field.
see them.
Oh,
You don't
I
have
thought they
line
were
of sight.
within.
You can hear it, but they're
Oh.
behind this hill.
well, I'm probably not going to do that.
No, you can hear it though, but they're it's going to be
How-
30 feet to get to the top of the hill.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm going to go forward 30 feet, and then I'm going to shoot ray of frost.
All right, 70 feet. You got the range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
120 feet. Which is a 19 to hit.
Are you going for the
Oh, yeah,
sorceress-looking one or the
Yeah, I'll say I'm going for the sorcerer.
sorcerer? It's a hit.
Should you be wearing your hat now that we're in combat?
Good point.
Lovely.
Hang on. That is 10 points of damage.
Nice. The beast cries out.
Lovely. Got him. Got him.
Combat ready.
Time to chill out, mate. I say afterwards. But retrospectively, so it's a bit less good.
Anything else, Ken?
Nope.
Cool. It is going to be the rather beefier looking goblin who is going to launch an attack at you, James Foreskin, and is going to leap onto your neck and plunge its jaws into your jugular.
Visceral.
But it's a crit miss.
How does that go for him? Does he reach? Can he reach up to my neck? Is that why he didn't do very well?
He snaps as you joke back.
Nice.
So it's not going to hit at all. Next, it's going to be a 14 versus AC
Nope.
and a 9 versus AC.
He's swinging. I'm like holding him with
You're
one
just
hand.
holding him with one
Little
hand.
guy, and he's just flailing.
Nice. That is when the rather sorceress-looking ritualist goblin is also going to plunge at you. The quickest thing it can manage to do is swing at you with its dagger.
Oh.
James Foreskin, which is going to be 10 versus AC.
Nimbly dodge aside.
And another 10 versus AC.
And I continue dodging.
Okay, it's going to disengage. It's going to try and run away. It gets about
Do I
30
get
feet
to?
away.
Do
and
I get to
turns.
try and hit it as it runs away?
It disengages.
Oh.
So no, you can't.
Oh, interesting.
So it's just
All
going to run away. It's about 30 feet, but it turns and it begins chanting.
Ooh.
Oh,
Next is Derek, Tangerine. Again, just
okay.
like Ken, you heard the sound of battle.
So I hear the sounds, and then I just turn to Ken and just say, James is in trouble.
I mean,
I sense it.
The foreskins. And then
from 30
I
feet away, I
just
shout
turn.
back. All right.
I just turn and
Brilliant.
I sprint that way, so I can run 40 feet.
Great. You can get
Um,
beyond the hill. That would leave you 60 feet away, right?
But then this energy that flows within me, I'm gonna use a key point
Yeah.
and use a bonus action to sprint double.
Right. So this is a monk thing, right? You
Yeah.
got your key points.
Mystic flowing energy. So actually, I can run 120.
You're doing
feet.
like Naruto running?
Yeah, just
like a little...
Like you're trying to get into Area 51. Yeah. Okay. So you do that, and you can make it all the way to the nearest goblin.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna launch
a little pitter-patter of tiny feet over a hill.
Yeah.
Guess who?
Yeah. The meteor goblin just holds up a hand. It's just the pitter patter of deadly feet. Yeah, coming up.
as I reach him, I'm just gonna launch a left and a right into his face.
Go for the
old face punch.
The old
Nice.
face punch.
the beefy boy or the ritualist.
Beefy boy.
The
Beefy boy.
boy.
All right.
For a 15 and a 12.
It's a hit and a miss.
Okay. Ooh, that's 5 points of just smacking damage.
Fist damage.
Fist in the face damage.
Bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I cast fist.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Excellent. On to James Foreskin.
I am going to charge towards the chanting ritual
Nice.
goblin
Now
thing.
you are engaged.
Yeah,
with the
so the
beefy
other
boy.
goblin's going to get a free shot at me as I
Okay.
try and run towards the other one.
He's going to have a go at doing that first for an 8 versus AC.
That's a miss.
Okay.
As I'm so dashy, I run towards him, and then I've got a longsword in one hand and a warhammer in the other,
Yeah.
and just start wildly going to town.
All right.
on this guy. So a crit and a 19.
It's
For
a
my
hit.
first two, which is nice. And then I'm going to attack twice more
Okay.
for a 16 and a 15.
I'm not going to pretend to understand the dynamics here, but I like it.
I'm just hitting a lot. I'm an angry big Bristol boy. That's what's happening.
Swing your arms if you get in the way.
Are you going to
Goblin.
fucking kill you little bastard?
And all of them are hits.
Great. Okay. So they're all
Now
those.
this is where he'll fail the maths.
Oh, no. I'm a geography teacher, not a maths teacher. Come on. Yeah, you're right. I am. 15, 16, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 36 points of damage.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Your flurry of blows
Splat, splat,
just
splat.
utterly destroys this goblin. You just see him crumple and fall to the floor. He's dead.
And that's why you're a little bastard.
Yeah.
I'm still just wildly hammering the corpse.
Nice.
Enraged, yeah.
Anything else for James?
I'm just going to scream gutturally.
All right.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
It's not that. I'm working on it.
In response, you hear a yelp. It's Geth Foreskin.
Yes, Geth. I shout over my shoulder, get the other one, Geth. And Geth Foreskin jumps at the throat of the beefy goblin and gets advantage because another ally is nearby because it's like a wolf. They
Nice.
hunt in packs, don't they?
Yep.
Great. So that is 19 versus AC.
It's a hit.
Cool. And he needs to take a strength saving throw, and he also takes 9 points of piercing damage.
Strength is 7.
He is knocked prone as this wolf leaps for his throat.
Nice. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Next is back up to Busby Hammersmith. Just see this wolf, Geth Foreskin, savaging this lone goblin.
So she's there sort of in tears, just looking at her hands like, and then
Is
she's
that the
like,
first time you've
yeah.
done that in anger?
Yeah, she's not into it. But then she goes, but okay, I should finish it off. So she decides to cast. Now it's Acid Arrow, but when I initially read the spell, I thought it was Acid Sparrow. And I think that's better. So she casts Acid Sparrow. And the goblin has to take a Constitution saving throw, please.
All right. It's going to be 8. These are bad rolls.
Oh, he's absolutely fucked it. So takes... Keeping you waiting. 9 points of Acid Sparrow damage as they flap through the air, splashing everywhere, straight into the face. Extra chili, save me!
He says. And he's still up, but he looks absolutely on his last legs, being savaged by this wolf and being melted by poison.
When it's his
Or
next
acid.
turn, because the sparrows are still flapping about, he actually takes another 2d4 damage. So bear that in mind.
Anything else, Busby?
No, she sort of looks at the sparrows and she's kind of into it. So
Lovely. Ken?
Ken, seeing this, starts to create in his hands a ball of electrical energy, and he says out loud to no one, "This might come as a bit of a shock." Sorry. And then he casts Chromatic Orb at this. Now, because he's a spell sniper, he doesn't...
I love when you break
Take-
out of character, like just be
Hang
really
on a
serious,
sec.
guys. Yeah.
Wait a sec.
Okay.
It means he ignores the fact that he's prone to take disadvantage.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go. Fine.
one for the rules fans there.
Nice. So that's an 11 to hit.
It's a miss.
Did you make that noise?
Yeah, sad noise. Ken just goes, oh, bugger, that wasted that line. Shit,
Yeah.
Ken, in that case.
Short circuit.
And
Nice.
that's my go.
Okay. The goblin is.
Oh, he takes 7 points of damage from that acid sparrow before he even does anything.
All right, Busby, how does the goblin die?
Oh,
God.
Yeah. So imagine sparrow. And then just gone.
Very graphic.
Sorry, I forgot it's an audio medium for those listening at home. The sparrow just fucking flies in his face and he dies.
And that's it?
Yes.
All right, combat over.
We did it.
Nice.
You've got the ruined bodies of these two goblins, and also just over the hill, Derek and Ken, that you've got those two elves.
And that's why you don't fucking kick puppies. I'm still hammering the corpse of this.
Tears in your eyes.
I'm really angry. Yeah.
It's not your fault.
Really angry.
I'll walk over to James and go, James, he's definitely dead. He's definitely.
Fucking
Come away, mate.
Goblins are never dead, and I just start tumbling the acid.
Both of you.
So,
I hate goblins as much as the next man, but please, let's go back over here. Got some elves to talk to.
All right. So you head back over to the elves?
Yeah.
Before quickly pat them down. Obviously, goblins might carry some sweet loot.
You do find some loot. On the beefier one, you find some chicken wing bones.
Oh.
Recently stripped. And you also find a magical item. Do you want to pick?
There is so much nonsense in here. I'm absolutely buzzing about what might come out.
Like chicken, the ethics of eating chicken that's just been intelligent has thrown my entire worldview into.
Is it pushed you into veganism?
I don't know how to feel now. Yeah.
1 to 4, pick one. Tangerine.
2.
Your item is, and this is a suggestion by Ration on Reddit, the object is a cloak of dramatic flourish.
What does it do?
The effect is a dark cloak that flutters dramatically even when there's no breeze, and you get advantage on performance checks.
Oh, sexy.
And that's what you find on the goblins. You head over to the elves. The old elf that you were speaking to has passed away.
Oh dear. Hey, at least we can still find his son.
Jan Yakov Tinglehammer.
I could bring him back if you like. He'd be a shadow of his former self, and he'd be a sort of like shambling zombie that would obey my every command. But I could bring him back.
Whatever you want to do, man. What you do, you. Ken, if you want to bring back someone to from the dead and keep them as a little slave, then do it.
Busby is just appalled.
Okay, all right.
Incapable of speech.
James is also
later,
quite unhappy about the prospect of that.
I'll do that later.
The necromancer's looking at sizes. Next to the elf, though, between the bodies, is a backpack.
Oh.
And you have a look through the backpack. There are cooking supplies, oils, herbs, spices. You also find a flask of drink.
What's the drink?
The drink is cider.
Any particular...
Thank you, El Getho on Instagram. A little bit too much Geth involvement in this episode.
James opens it and just hear it. Ooh, it smells like a nice scrumpy, that.
Just cider.
That's great. I'll have that. I'm having that. Kat, what sort of like herbs what are the herbs and spices like? Is it like a dry rub?
Rosemary.
Keep going.
Oregano.
I'm nearly there.
5 spice. Regular
Left field choice.
regular spices.
Wood chef, what would you say about that?
Well, thank you for asking. I'd say that is going to make a sort of Eastern wing, sort of spicy, sort of Eastern flavoured herby wing. It's going to be absolutely cracking.
Love an Eastern flavoured herby wing. But you're now just alone with the bodies and the assumed rough direction of this strange Poultryton. Definitely not on the map. You know the area, and it certainly wasn't there when you came this way a week ago.
I really think we should make our way to Poultryton if we at all can, because we've only been going sort of 10 minutes and I've already nearly died like 3 times. So
Yeah,
do we go?
But so Poultryton's one way, and these elves' place, that's another direction, or is it the same way, is it?
Well, none of us have ever heard where it is, and he didn't tell us. Unless you can make him into a shambling zombie, you might be able to give some directions.
Before you killed him, did he tell you where he was from?
Can I earnestly object to that characterization of those events? It was an unfortunate medical killing, I suppose. I mean, yes.
It was an assisted death.
Wow.
Right. Okay. This is
So we don't
changed that sort of way.
Again, can I want to try and do some expert ranger craft. Going to get Geth involved, have him a little sniff of the...
Absolutely. With Geth involved, you can say he's going to assist you, and you can get advantage of this time on this one.
Because
Geth got the scent.
The wise oak. Presumably this is a survival check?
Survival check.
Yeah, presumably this is a Oh, that's nice. 26.
26?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the tracks easily.
And are they the same way as Poultryton or the chicken's tracks, or are they different?
They head east.
And wait, which way would chicken tracks? Also east or not east?
I don't know. Did he give you an indication of where it was? Oh, he
South
did.
east.
Yeah, he did.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, audience.
Audience more often.
So
that was great.
They line up. They're in the same direction.
Great. It turns out that these two elves came from the same place. I think I can get us there.
Right. Okay. I think we should go because if we solve this, my boss is going to be really impressed.
Right. Up for promotion, is it?
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
For Jan
Office of
Jakob
Druidic
Tiguan.
Affairs. I just love it. I want to fix the
What does the Office of
photocopier.
Druidic Affairs do?
I mainly deal with moss conveyancing.
Pray tell.
I sometimes work in Bark as well. It's,
Yeah, please
well,
say.
no, really, actually, it's very, very interesting. So if you did want to hear about it, I'd be very, very happy
I
to
think we're
explain.
pressing
So,
Sure, yeah, probably just move on.
I can get my spreadsheet.
No, we're good. Good.
Okay.
But James, can I ride Geth? I'm a little sprinting a little bit tired. Can I ride your wolf? Just a bit tired.
I'm not sure Geth is big enough to carry. Actually, no, gnomes can ride like dogs, can't they? Yeah. You know what? You can ride Geth if you want. Geth
Dreams
is.
come true.
Yeah. Can we put the gnome on the wolf?
Yes.
Great. We're putting the gnome on the wolf.
Name is on the wolf.
All right. Sarah Tangerine gets on the wolf.
Nice. Great.
So I assume you're
How does it
heading.
feel with that foreskin between your legs? Yes. I did it.
I assume you're heading
Don't mind me.
towards Poultryton.
Yeah. Yes, we're heading towards presumably we're all going to follow the tracks of the chicken and the
Yeah.
dead elves. Yeah.
Right behind you.
Can I search the dead elves' bodies first of all for anything, just before we leave?
Yeah, absolutely. You can pat them
Such a
down.
charmer.
You don't find anything else of note.
Oh. Okay. Off we go then.
You head along the tracks with the foreskin family leading the way. And it's not long until you see an odd sight. It's
A gnome riding the foreskin.
Even weirder than that. Several hundred feet away, you can see what's best described as a large piece of village. Where there
Could
was...
you expand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Where there was none before, because you have been this way, you can see that around half a dozen buildings have been, it almost looks like they've been placed on the meadow. Most are made of white stone, and you can see that the nearest buildings are missing their outer walls, as if the village was kind of as a section sliced out with a like a cookie cutter. And the meadow, the grass all around it, and the brush is it looks singed. It's kind of brown and blackened, as if scorched by fire.
Open meadow, bits of scooped out village.
Yes, or
Scorch
one
marks.
complete bit of
Okay,
village.
so not like
just
different
in the
sections of
middle.
village.
No,
In the
just
middle,
all
okay.
in the middle, clustered around, as if somebody took a small piece of village and just plonked it there.
It's all scorched.
The grasses.
The grasses.
And are there any people around at all?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see
Ooh, tell me more.
dozens of creatures. You can see lots of elves, and one of the other creatures gets near enough that you can see it. It's a chicken.
Hello, chicken.
Is this so just taken aback there? Can this chicken talk? Does it appear sentient?
The one that's approached you,
Yeah.
kind of nearish. It doesn't have the same sort of shine of intelligence that the chicken you just spoke to had. Though this is odd. Around its neck is a tiny collar.
Interesting. What's it? Did anything say anything on the collar?
You would need to get closer to see, but you can see that all of the creatures, including the elves, in fact, have also got these kind of like choker collars.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Interesting.
Don't know how I feel
I
about that.
picked up the bottle earlier from the sentient chicken.
Yes.
Anything left in it?
Yes.
Lit. So
Oh, you mean the potion?
Yeah.
No. I thought you meant the booze, sorry.
mugged
No.
me right off there. Okay, I'm just gonna shimmy on down to get a bit closer to the chicken, see if what I can see about this collar.
As you get closer, you can see that the collar, all of them in fact, are studded with bright, sparkling gems. Some of them are glowing, actually, definitely magical.
Ooh. Does it say like if found, return to evil boss on it or anything like that? Don't ask to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You can inspect it. You can get close enough to the chicken.
Yeah.
You're going to have to try and catch the chicken
Yeah, lit. Let's go.
if you want to try
Okay,
that.
in that case then, I'm going to cast
I'm going
Speak
to-
with Animals.
Okay.
It's a ritual. Don't need to do anything. And I'm just going to go, all right, babe. Just so I could have a little look at your collar. Is that all right?
It just goes, yes.
And I sort of toddle over and
Yes.
I pick it up
All right.
and give it a little stroke. Even though I don't.
Some of the villagers, the elves, they're turning and they're kind of looking at you.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to take a closer look at the collar. Has it got anything written on it? Anything that I can see?
Investigation check.
It's very bad. Let's see how bad it is. That is a 9.
9. The collar's made of some kind of black metal. It's definitely magical.
Nice. Okay. I'm just going to say, ask the chicken. Who popped the collar on you? I've forgotten I can speak to it, so I might as well ask. Don't need to look.
It just says, just because you can talk to it doesn't mean it's smart, by the way. It just says, you know when you're like, what voice is this going to sound? Demon!
Oh, demon.
It's what
Okay.
the chicken, what the chicken
voice
says.
was that?
Demon!
Chicken.
It's what a chicken would sound like
voice.
if it spoke.
And
Demon.
And I say, dear friend, what should I call you, by the way?
It says, you may call me Demel's a spatchcock.
How convenient.
Very appropriate.
If a bit grim.
Thank you to Mira Manga on Instagram for that suggestion.
So I reassure the chicken that I'm not going to spatchcock it, and I say, "Demon, could you describe the demon at all? What does it look like?"
It just says,
Demony. Fuck. Okay, so I'm holding the chicken. I just take it back over to the guys. I'm like, I asked the chicken, and it said a demon did this. It doesn't really know anything else.
As you walk back over to the guys at the edge of the village, the collar explodes.
Oh my
along with the chicken's head.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
You hear one elf towards the back of the village who's been watching scream, "No, Demelza!"
I think any buoyancy I had from the successful murder of the goblin is completely destroyed by the incendiary chicken incident, and I just drop the body.
Yeah.
Did you say a demon did that?
Yeah.
Because don't you remember those goblins? No, those elves, didn't they say something about
The elves
demons
that say
as
that
well?
Demons had killed.
And what did
And hold on, those goblins, those
Yeah.
little bastard gobbos, they said that they were looking for their property. They were looking for their escaped criminals or slaves or something.
But the elves didn't have collars on them.
Did those elves that we saw have collars on them?
Didn't even look.
No, they didn't.
Don't think so.
They didn't.
They didn't.
They,
But they would have exploded if they had them on, so they must have found a way to get them off. Surely.
Maybe.
You'd hope so. Wait, fuck.
What did that? Oh,
Here,
sorry.
I mean, I hope so.
What did
crossing the streams.
What did the two goblins in the robe say about they were looking for them, right?
Here, they said they were looking for their escaped criminals or their slaves or something like that. And at that point, I sort of read a little bit and bashed on their heads in.
What did they say they were looking for chefs or something?
Property. That's what you said.
They said they were looking for their property. Yeah.
Yeah.
The elf who screamed out is kind of walking.
Don't come any
towards
closer,
you.
your head will explode.
Well, he
mate.
shouts, "I know!" And he just stops at the village, like the threshold.
What's your name, friend?
Hello.
He just says, "Can we just speak closer rather than shouting?"
We'll come to you. Stay there. Although he
Is
does
his
seem
head
to
going
know
to
that.
explode if we go any closer to him? What if it's his magic? Have you made his head explode?
No.
I look
I didn't.
entirely confused by this whole thing, and I start walking down the hill because off I go. I'm going to get nearer.
So you're walking up to the elf.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're near the village as well, just a few more details. You can see a couple of buildings of note. There is a tavern. The tavern is called the Quinoa Salad. Further down the white stone paved road. And by the way, this village is like just lovely. It's kind of artisan craft. It's most of the buildings, all of them are made of this really like gorgeous white stone. The streets are incredibly well made, and there are these alchemical lampposts lining the road. Between a couple of the lampposts is a trader's shop, and there's a wonky sign above that reads "Smoky Pete's Lovely Stuff."
Oh, lovely.
Also, at the rear of the village is this large, splendid-looking house. It's got turrets. There are two floors, and it has a central spire. The spire, though, has very clearly been shorn off suddenly, about 20 feet up. In the same way as some of the buildings on the edges have kind of been cut away. It looks like that too. And you can see at this distance, some way away, but you can see them. There are two goblins.
We fucking hate goblins,
sorry.
you little bastards. Oi, come on.
It's a goblin.
Bastard.
That's a better cue. And they're riding wargs. Which of these are like large riding walls? Yes, some Lord of the Rings references.
Some
So
big
there are some
fans in the
walks. Yeah, there are some walks.
Have the goblins seen us?
They haven't.
Lit.
Have I seen the goblins?
Yes.
So just to clarify.
Okay, so I think, is there anywhere we can like hide behind or something? I say to the elf.
He says, well, you can see the village, can't you? You can see it. So, my Demelza.
So I'm sorry
Just
about
begins
this.
crying.
I'm really, really sorry about the chicken. But could you just explain sort of what is going on here exactly? What is
Could we just hide before we talk? Is
What
that
is
okay?
this?
He takes you to one side behind one of the buildings and
Right,
he
thank
says, yes, of course. The demons came and they did this to us. They did this to my Demelza. I don't blame you for not knowing.
And what's this village called?
Poultryton.
Oh, that makes
Knew it.
sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And tell me more about the demons. What are they like?
Well,
What do they look like?
They're monstrous and they appeared last night.
Are they at all like goblins? Maybe in robes?
He says, what are goblins?
Oh.
Oh, guys, I think I see. They're small. They're generally small. They're green. They're kind of
They're those
mean.
creatures riding
No,
those
yeah,
big
they're-
You mean the demons?
Yeah, okay,
No.
fine.
I mean, yes, I suppose, but no, also.
And he points to the two goblins.
I don't think this
Right.
is a time for semantics. So, when did they? So they arrived yesterday. You say?
Yes, they keep mentioning some deity called Extra Chili. They're demons. They did this to us. They captured us. A few got away, but others were killed.
And what are they trying to make you do?
We don't know.
I've got an idea for how to find out.
Well, I'd love to hear it. I think.
So,
I don't know.
bear with this logic. Hiding is when something can't see you, right?
Yeah.
And we're hiding right now.
Yep.
Because that's a good thing to do.
Uh huh.
If they're dead,
I like this so
they
far.
can't see us. Ergo, we're hiding then, aren't we? And then I charge at the goblins. Whistling for Gaff to follow me.
Oh, Jay. Oh, he's
I
gone,
don't even
he's
notice
gone.
him charging because I'm still there, like being.
And
I
I'm just like,
kind of does make sense.
All right, James Foreskin, Derek Tangerine, you charge the goblins. Yeah.
Great.
They notice you immediately and you can roll initiative.
Great.
Bloody hell.
Roll dice.
I roll. Are we still in the woods? Any oaks nearby?
No oaks.
No oaks. Sycamores?
This is very car parky.
okay.
So no, not at all.
Deforestation, honestly. Right, that is 12 for
12 for James Foreskin.
For James Foreskin,
Yeah.
and Gaff Foreskin gets 20.
20.
18 for Busby.
18 for Busby.
16 for Derek.
16 for Derek.
14.
14 for
Ken.
Ken Woodchef.
Still funny.
We were umming and ahhing about the name thing. Because inevitably you end up with a duo called James and Gaff Foreskin. All right. And those are, again, I'm not rolling very well for the poor old goblins.
How far away are the goblins on wargs?
They are about 80 feet away. These
Okay.
two goblins riding wargs, they look utterly, again, just savage as goblins go. They've got these bright, glowing red eyes. They've got these long claws and teeth. And they also meet you in the charge, but they're still some distance away. First up is going to be Geth Foreskin. It's the
Nice. Gaff howls
Lighting change.
and charges forward to leap at the throat. So is it goblin and warg are two different creatures, or
wolf.
this
They
is
at
just
the moment
like one
are
thing?
one creature.
Are one. Okay. So it's going to try and leap for the throat of one of the riders.
Yes.
For a crit miss. Poor little Gaff. That's no good. Sales passed.
Sales pass. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Just looks a bit ashamed.
Who is the
Little bit
Busby?
embarrassed.
Okay, so Busby just realizes that you've made the charge. She's absolutely terrified, but now you know the wonderful story of the sort of the elf showing how upset he was has made her try to be as brave as possible. And so, thinking back to her time in the Office of Druid Affairs and what it says in the manual that you should do if you are worried about something, she decides to.
Does this attack
This
have a
is like some
backstory?
anime level exposition.
She decides to wild shape, and she thinks in her head what is the most power. Yes,
What is wild shape?
wild shape is where druids can turn into any animal that they've seen before.
That's cool. That's
So-
cool. That's real cool.
She rifles through the memory bank, and she thinks now might be a good time to turn into a giant elk.
Oh, nice.
because they've got 2 attacks. It can attack once with its horns and once with its hooves. So yes, you go.
All right, Busby Hammersmith twists and warps into a giant elk.
And then that's the noise that an elk makes. I think you're fine, actually. I'm the nature expert. So yeah, she just absolutely motors across to them.
Yes.
And just basically runs at them and tries to ram them
Got you.
as hard as she can.
Nice. Are you going for the first or the second one?
I'm going for the first one.
Okay.
They were more than 20 feet away, though, weren't they?
They are.
Oh, devastating. Okay. So the first one, I'm going to hit for 25.
Nice.
With my horns.
It's a hit.
And my second one, I'm going to hit for 13 with my hooves.
It's a miss.
Oh, unfortunate. 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. It takes 13 points of bludgeoning damage straight to the noggin.
Lovely.
Got down really low, even though I'm a giant elk.
The goblin cries out,
Extra chili, save me!
And I, in elkish, go, no.
Nice. Anything else?
I'm just going to trot about, like...
Just trot about.
Yeah.
Is that the noise out?
I'm just sort of going to go round the back.
You stop promenading.
Yeah,
Very
start
nice.
promenading, going round the back in the hope that I can do another follow-up attack on my next turn.
Excellent. Next up, Derek Tangerine.
Derek Tangerine, with his new cloak fluttering in the air, just does a little superhero pose in front of these goblins and says, "Behold, it is us, Derek Tangerine." Derek Tangerine, the Foreskins, Busby, newly formed elk person, and the wizard known as Woodchef. Leave now or forever hold your peace.
It's not a wedding.
They're not getting married. doesn't make any sense.
And I want to use my new performance to freak them out.
You're trying to freak him out.
Yeah.
It's an intimidation roll, and it did say performance, but I think we can extend this to being a terrifying cloak. So
And is your
you can have advantage on your intimidation roll.
Is your cloak fluttering dramatically behind you while this happens?
Fluttering in the wind behind me. It is a 13.
13. One, the goblin which is unharmed. The warg rears and runs off.
Nice.
With the goblin on it.
With the goblin on it.
Come back.
He's just bouncing on its back, and it runs off out of the village, beyond the village threshold, and off into the distance.
And I say to the other one that didn't flee, "You really fucked it." And I just want to launch at him, and I'm going to use all my attacks at once because I get 3 attacks. Headbutt, 2 fists, all in at once.
Little gnomish missile.
Yeah, okay, right.
Little gnomish missile.
Like a dart. Try attack. Yeah, okay, fine.
Like a very angry fork.
A little one.
Yeah, a little tiny fork.
A travel fork.
By the way, rules fans, it wasn't the goblin's go, so the warg didn't actually run yet. Okay. but it's like, just about to run in that direction. Go on.
So one is 14, one is 16, and one is 18.
All hits.
19 damage
Very nice.
of missile, gnome fork damage.
Gnome spork damage.
Yeah.
That's more because they're all the same.
And how does that goblin die?
My just gnome torpedo just flies through his head.
Clean off.
Yeah,
Just explodes like a melon. Okay.
the body remains, but wiggles
do
in the
that.
air, and then the cape, as my cape flutters through.
Lovely. Flying in the distance still. Anything else, Derek Tangerine?
No.
Ken Woodchef, choice is yours. This warg and goblin are clearly fleeing.
They're running away.
Yes.
We want to take one alive so we can interrogate it.
Now it's time to cast Fireball. No,
Yes!
I say, if they're running away, I say, I start waving my hands around in an arcane kind of way. I say, it's time to put you on ice. And I cast Ray of Frost again for 11 to hit.
It's a miss.
Bugger. Keep wasting his life.
Sales pass. Anything else,
yeah.
Ken?
Nah.
James Foreskin.
How
the
far-
Goliath.
Yeah. How far away am I from the fleeing goblin?
You haven't moved yet, have you?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
So
Well, I started
it's-
charging towards it, and then we rolled initiative.
Fine.
Yeah.
Let's say it's like 40 feet away.
So can't really. Oh, that's not good, is it? Oh, that's a pain. I can only go 30 feet and do something. Cool. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to run towards it. I'm going to charge towards it.
Yep.
And then I'm going to command Geth to attack the goblin. And I'm doing that on purpose because if I command my wolf to attack, I get to attack again.
Nice.
Which is a cool little ranger thing. And then I'm going to loose 3 arrows.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and subdue stop resisting
Yes.
the rest, basically, for the goblin. I'm going to try and subdue him with arrows, but keep him alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Subdue him with arrows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pin him to the floor by like the corners of his
Yeah,
t-shirt.
right,
type
yeah,
vibe.
exactly. So can I do that? It'd be like non-lethal damage, I guess.
Yes.
Can you do
Yeah, can
non-lethal
that.
damage with a longbow?
You can
Fine.
give it a try.
Rubber.
Tiny
rubber
twang.
arrows.
Yep, fine.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, if you're a good ranger, you can.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
fine. All right. I'm not a good ranger. I rolled a 2, a 1, and nearly a crit, and then a 20.
Nice. Just one hit.
Just one hit. Cool. And that does 4 points of piercing damage.
Thuds into the goblin's back. Anything else?
I'm just gonna shout.
All right. That is it for you. The goblin is running away on the warg. It's going to get 60 feet away. Next up is Geth.
Geth charges. Oh no, he can only go. Shit, this is tricky. What are we gonna do?
He's really tall.
Geth's only a wolf. He's. I mean, he's a normal.
Tall.
Is it?
It's a good heckle.
He's a big.
He's tall.
He's
It's a good
big
challenge.
wolf.
This is a massive.
Big old stride.
It's a big old stride. So Geth runs and is going to try and run because he can't attack, can he? If you sprint. So he goes double his
Yeah,
movement.
you
So he
can- you can
travels
get
80
next to him.
feet, but he wants to run like in amongst the legs of the warg and
Yes.
make it trip over.
Right, got you.
Like fall over its own legs.
That's fine. Anything else?
What we roll in for this?
It's
like
you
a-
sort of technically can't. So you've done the double sprints. There's no
yeah,
other
but I
action
want
that
to
can
run. I
happen.
want to end it. Yeah.
If
yeah,
it tries to
you're
get
right.
away, there'd be an attack of opportunity thing. That's about it.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Next, Busby, 60 feet away.
60 feet away. That's good because that's how far I can move as a big old elk.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to run full tilt
Yeah.
and just headbutt it in the back.
Nice.
Go
for it.
just as hard as I can.
Yep.
That is a 20 hit.
It's a hit.
And then with the hooves, it's a crit.
It's a crit. Yay!
Good time.
So I'm going to. The good thing about being an elk is I can only speak elk, but I can understand common. So I heard the conversation about wanting to not injure him.
Yes.
So I'm just going to try and knock him prone
All right.
Elk
with
smarts.
some non-lethal damage,
Yep.
which is 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, you smack into them, but they're still going. Anything else?
Yeah. So then with my hooves damage.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus
Understood.
Christ. With the hooves damage, that's 8 points of damage with my hooves.
All right. You knock the goblin to the ground.
Yes.
The
Nice.
warg is going to keep on running.
Okay. I don't care about the warg. I want the goblin.
Okay.
So I interrogate him in Elkish, but unfortunately he doesn't understand. So I hope the others arrive soon.
That's all you can do for this go.
Yeah.
But anything else?
No.
No. Derek Tangerine.
Seeing that the elk has knocked off the goblin, I sprint over,
Yep.
pull out some nunchucks
Yep.
that I got
Okay.
from my pocket, my big pocket, and I want to do some non-lethal damage. Break his legs.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's a solid 23 to hit.
I roll to break his legs. Yeah, you can roll. It's a hit. You can roll damage.
7.
So,
Is that enough to break a goblin's legs?
you all hear a pop.
oh god.
Oh, cranky.
Surely a crunch, I'd say.
It's
She's
a
a doctor.
pop.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. It's a crunch then. It's a crunch, but it's a dislocation.
Oh, in that case, it's a pop. I take it.
So I was going for it. You hear a pop, and the goblin
And I stand.
Calls
Derek
out.
stands over him with his cloak fluttering in the breeze.
Yes.
And I say, I told you to flee, and I know that you were fleeing, but the elk knocked you off, and then I broke your leg.
Combat
anyway.
over. So the goblin is on the ground. The warg is running off, and the goblin's senseless. It's just kind of gurgling, writhing around, clutching its legs.
And
What
I-
do you want to do?
Back into human form.
Yes.
And I say, tell us your name, goblin.
And it spits you and says, "Never."
And I say, I insist. No. Okay.
You're not going to get any sense out of it. He's
I
a
broke the other
goblin.
leg.
You break the other leg.
Yeah.
Okay. Do an attack roll.
Let's get advantage because it's prone.
It does get advantage. You can roll again.
25.
All right. So it's a hit.
7 damage.
It's dead.
He was trying to do non-lethal damage, wasn't he?
I mean,
bloody
I
hell.
was, but then I hate goblins, so fuck it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Without stating it was non-lethal damage.
And then I
it's
turn
dead.
to Ken
Yeah.
and say,
Great job, Des.
You said that you could raise
I mean,
someone
yes.
from the dead. Do that trick.
I don't think this was
I'm not going
necessary.
to waste it on that. It's a 3rd level spell slot, mate. You're kidding? On
Impress
it.
me.
I mean, maybe later, but no, not now.
The way to the big house at the end of the village is now clear. You've also got the quinoa salad and Smoky Pete's lovely stuff, the trader.
Is Smoky Pete? Does it look like a wing joint?
A what?
A wing joint.
A
It's a
wing joint.
vegan. It's a vegan village of elves and chickens that live together in perfect harmony.
I just had a stroke and forgot that.
So it doesn't seem so, but actually you can't tell what it is. It's got really filthy windows and you can see just clutter. So you can't really see in either. The door is open.
I
right.
stroll in.
You're going to Smoky Pete's?
Yeah.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'll go quinoa salad.
Okay.
Lovely.
So, Ken, you're going to the Quinoa Salad Tavern.
Certainly, I'm going to get a beer.
Derek Tangerine, you're going to Smoky Pete's.
I'm old enough.
James Foreskin, Busby.
Done.
Me and Geth,
Yeah.
we're going to go to the quinoa salad.
James and Geth, you head to the Quinoa
Do they
Salad.
accept pets?
Yeah, it looks pet and family
Pet
friendly.
Right.
Yeah. And then Busby.
I'm going to cast Speak with Plants on the grass and try and find out what happened here.
It's all paved, so no grass here. You'd have to go out beyond the village
You
to
have
do that.
absolutely fucked me there, and I'm
fudge.
livid. But okay, I'll go to the quinoa salad.
Sorry.
Have they got any hanging baskets outside the quinoa salad?
Are there any cut flowers?
You know
on a
what?
quinoa
On the
salad?
windowsill of one of the houses, you see a potted plant.
Yes. So I go over.
Yeah.
And in a druidic style,
Hannah
I
has
cast.
been. She was talking about the spell like all day.
I've been
She
so
just wants
excited
to,
about
She just
it.
wants to speak to a plant. We've never seen it before in our campaign.
Yeah.
Speak to the plant.
I was like, that all the spells are like mad and shit, except this one, which is awesome. So yeah, I talked to. Can I talk to the pot plant?
Yes.
And it is able to tell me what's happened here in the last 24 hours.
It says, there was an attack.
And that is how a hydrangea speaks.
By who?
Those evil demons.
But where did they come from?
They came from that house.
Oh,
And the
which
leaves
house?
kind of waft over to the mansion.
Okay, so I call to the others through the window of the quinoa salad and say, "This hydrangea told me that the demons came from the big house. I think we should go there."
James,
Here is
again,
she.
I don't think you're quite in yet, so actually you can just...
Yeah,
you're
I-
further,
all right.
Yeah.
Has she been at the screaming organisms again?
Yeah. And I say to the plant, "Any top tips on how we, what might be going on in there? Have many people gone in there recently?"
How do we win? They say, I saw 2 elves fleeing last night when the demons arrived.
Oh, it's all coming together.
I saw one of the demons jump on another's shoulders and pursue them.
Did they put a big coat on?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I gather the group up, and I'm like, I really think we should just go there. It sounds like that's what we need to do.
Sure, there was nothing in Smoky Pete's.
So,
don't worry
Derek
about it.
Tangerine, you're going into Smoky Pete's.
After hearing the talk from the hydrangea, I think I'd rather go to the castle.
Cool.
It's true. I can get an ale later.
I've got some
Whatever.
cider right here for you if you want.
Actually, I'm fine with water for the moment. Actually, It's
Have you,
fine.
have you ever had beer before?
Yeah, loads. I love it.
So what are we doing?
So I think there might be more goblins in there. But
Brilliant.
thank you. So I was thinking maybe we need to sort of have a look round, but no one find us. So I've got 2 ideas. One of them is...
Turning into an elk again. I love that. That was great. Do that again.
One of them is... I've got a really good... I can only do that once, I'm sorry. I've got a spell that can make us very stealthy, or I can turn into a crab and have a look around.
Crab.
I'd like to see you turn into a crab.
Okay.
A stealth crab.
Crabs are quite stealthy.
Well, a crab. So if I were to break out for a moment here, that crabs are actually one of the stealthiest animals in
the animal kingdom.
In the animal kingdom.
Famously.
+2 to stealth.
Yeah, look, they're doing that.
And I can breathe air and water. So if I have to go through any wet areas, it's going to be fine.
around the castle?
No. So what are we doing?
I'm going to turn into a crab and go and have a look round.
Where are you looking around?
The house that the goblins were in.
Before you
You're
do
going to the
that,
house.
do you want to take Gaff with you? Because he's quite stealthy.
Oh, lovely.
Go
I
with
mean,
him.
we could all go in and I could cast my
why
stealth spell.
don't you go stealth around by
This
yourself.
is a great spin-off sitcom, isn't it? The Wolf and the Crab.
The wolf and the crab.
Just start their own adventure.
He'll follow you. I mean, he doesn't really speak crab, but I'm sure he'll follow your lead.
They're not talented linguists, crabs. Anyway, I don't think crab even exists, so I think we're okay. I could turn into a lizard, but I thought crab was funnier.
Yeah.
So
When you turn into a crab, you can't speak, right?
I can't, but I can go and have a look round and then come back.
Code?
Nice.
But
But as a gnome, I can talk to small beasts through sounds and gestures.
Amazing.
We've got this covered.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's my wild shaping sounds.
Okay.
Nice.
So the crab and the wolf are going into the house.
Yes.
Godspeed.
Okay,
Here we go.
crab and wolf, Geth Foreskin and Busby Hammersmith. You make for the mansion,
Yeah.
and you just clatter across the stone. It's stately.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's looming across the town, and on closer inspection, some of those turrets that you could see from a distance look more like chimneys. There are iron railings surrounding the front courtyard, and in the middle of the courtyard is a large statue. It's about 15 feet tall, and it's depicting an elf. In one hand, he's holding a frying pan. In the other hand, he's just giving a thumbs up.
Great.
There's also depicted in the statue, there's a creature at his feet with this weird caricature smile. It's a chicken.
Hello, chicken. Question.
Oh, the chicken has a potion vial as well hanging from his neck.
So I can't speak when I'm a crab. Can I
Right.
read?
Yeah.
Can I? Okay.
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
Does it say anything on the statue?
Yes. It says, first of all, a name.
what's the name?
The name is... No.
That was bound to happen at least once.
No. We've already had someone from that person, so we'll go for Ricardo Bashir. Thank you, Dylan from the Roll Sixes on Twitter, or Roll Sixes, I think it's the Twitter handle, Dylan. But it says Ricardo Bashir to commemorate the Poultryton Armistice. We love chickens.
Lovely. I commit that to my limited crab. Brain.
Do you, when you change shape, do you keep all of the same like mental faculties
Yes.
as a
Yeah.
human?
You do absolutely.
Yeah, but you can't like speak or
Okay, all right.
whatever. Unless you could speak someone as a crab, and then
Okay.
great.
As you near the house as well, you can hear the sound of at least one baby crying.
Oh, that sounds dark. So in trying to do my best, nothing to see here, just a crab having a look around. I just sideways,
Inconspicuous crab work. Yeah, okay.
just sort of slip under the door and just go and have a look about.
Slip out of the door. That's fine. You can actually you can push the door and it just opens. That's fine. You can head on in. As you enter, you can see that the place has been ransacked. There are papers and clothes strewn across the floor. The cabinets have been smashed. The doors that you can see have been torn off the hinges. There are even some holes that have been smashed into the wall. One of the only things left in the corner of the room is a drinks cabinet. You can now also, on top of the baby crying noise coming from upstairs, you can also hear voices speaking softly.
So I can't hear what they're saying.
You cannot, well, you can try and hear what they're saying. You can do a perception roll.
Okay.
What are you guys doing in the meantime outside? Just
that perception roll is 2, by the way, so I definitely can't hear what they're saying.
You cannot hear what they're saying,
Shocker.
not from this distance. And the crab, alas, cannot get up the stairs.
Derek is-
If the wolf is with me, I'm going to get on the back of the wolf and he's going to take me up the stairs.
Yeah.
Fine. We will return to this exciting adventure in a second. Derek Tangerine, James Foreskin, Ken Woodchef. What are you guys doing outside?
I'm going to slap the gnome awake. He's on my shoulder still.
Yes, that's right.
Not so euphemistic.
That's right. Yeah.
I want to see.
You slap
I
Gert
slap
awake.
Gert.
Yeah, you slap Gert awake.
Here,
Where's
Gert.
the carriage?
Well, that's a fun story, that. Tell me, why did you think a tiny horse was going to get us all the way to where we was going?
Is this the question that you're asking them right now? We're outside a mansion. Your dog's gone in. They might be in trouble. We need to get in there and help them.
Here, no, you saw bloody Busby. She's got it. She's a crab. She'll got it all
You
in
are
hand.
right.
All in hand.
She's
all
got
in
it.
pincer.
She's a crab. Don't worry.
Hey, she'll be fine. Gav's got her back. I want to know what this fucking gnome had to do. Right, Gert. You owe us an explanation.
Well, I had a little tipple, I admit.
Right. Here's the deal. You'll make up for it. I want you to go in there and help a crab out. Go on.
Indentured servitude.
If you don't,
Yeah.
I'm going to smash your face in with this war hammer.
Okay. You can roll an intimidation roll.
Bloody hell.
Back home in the Goliath tribe, you had to make up for your wrongdoings, and I've got a very strong code of ethics.
That involves smashing people with Warhammer.
I didn't say it was a complex code. It's a code nonetheless. 21 to intimidate Gert the gnome. What is he?
He's a gnome.
He's a gnome.
He jumps down from your shoulders and he scuttles towards the house.
Great.
Busby, the
brilliant.
crab.
Okay, so I've reached the top of the stairs.
And a gnome patters in. Looks around.
And I just clack at him with my...
Like sees you.
As a
And
gnome,
beckon.
he can
He can.
understand small creatures as well.
Communicate.
He says to you in crab.
Hello?
And I'm like, come on. And I get him to come up the stairs.
You just see this really dejected, heavy sigh from Gert, and he goes,
Okay.
he scoops you up, and he begins creeping up the stairs.
I
with
do
you in
feel we
hand.
might have lost some of the element of stealth now. I'm being carried around by a gnome.
You're like a bat, like sonar. You're like an advanced warning system in front of him.
I'm just completely useless now.
Yeah.
So I ask him to put me down, and I'm going to scuttle ahead.
He places you down on the landing, and you scuttle ahead. And actually, ahead of you is just one large open room, dominating most of the upper floor. And you can see a couple of figures. First of all, here's what you can hear them saying. There's an elf with his back to you. And he says, I want the collared residents rounded up and ordered by age in 1 hour. This body took some damage during the ritual, so I shall need a new one soon enough.
What can I see him?
Yes.
So I can see, what does he look like?
He looks like an elf. And actually, now that you're looking at him, appraising him with those beady crab eyes, you can see that he looks kind of hurt. He looks like he has some fresh wounds on his back and side. He has a large wound to the side of his head as well. And there's a goblin next to him who says,
Yes, master, yes.
Okay. So, what does the room look like? Is there anything to indicate what he might be wanting to do?
all of the furniture and everything has been pushed to the side of the room. And in the middle of the room, the floor, you don't have much of a, not very tall as a crab, so you don't have much of an advantage, but you can see at least the beginnings of a ritual circle. You can see some candles, you can see something which has been painted on the floor. And as you look across the room, you see a few more things. You see 2 babies. You see that they're wrapped in cloth and they've just been left on the ground. Okay. They look as if they are half elf or elf, and they're crying loudly.
Okay.
And next to them, you can see how the ritual circle was painted. You see a corpse. It's a chicken.
Hello, chicken. It's a bit sad.
It's dark.
Oh, hello,
That was
chicken.
really desultory.
It's a dead chicken. Goodbye, chicken. Also in the corner of the room, you can see a large construct. It's a clay golem. It's huge, towering. It's around 8 or 9 feet tall. Its head is almost touching the ceiling, and it has these gems just laced throughout its body, glowing brightly. It seems inactive at the moment.
Okay. I think...
Meantime, outside, what are you guys doing?
This is taking too long.
They're taking
That crab should have come out already.
You're just kicking stones around. You're pacing, worried about the crab.
You said the crab would come out within 5 minutes.
How long's it been?
Gert's
Get your foreskin out.
Here, do you think we should
cheap.
Do you think we should go and help? Ken, what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, she's probably doing fine. So you guys go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
Ken, it's okay. You joined us to come on an adventure. This is the adventure.
All right, I suppose so.
That's
Bloody.
Here, that was inspiring. Must be the
Of course, you're right. It's my reason for being.
What an adventuring band. Yeah. So what are you guys doing?
I'm going to run in.
All right.
Crikey.
Can I go on your shoulders?
All right, then. I've actually got room for a gnome now.
Perfect.
Up on.
Yoink.
Derek Tangerine does not like walking. It's quite an entitled monk.
Why should I?
You're right there, mate. You've got me there. What are you doing, Ken?
Well, I'm following behind.
All right. So
There
the
you
three
go,
of you
I'm
make your
going.
way towards. You can hear behind you, Busby, the very careful sound of 3 sets of footsteps.
Okay, I think Busby's got to work quickly here
Yes.
because although she is terrified of absolutely everything, she is very worried about the welfare of these babies. So she's going to click, 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 click back to Gert. And she's going to say, you need to go and tell them to regroup just outside and get ready to attack. But don't come in until you hear the commotion, okay?
This is going to be a stealth check.
Okay.
I think the clacker across the and just having a conversation. 16 is good enough. You go unnoticed, and the gnome nods and makes his way downstairs rather stealthily. And the 3 of you, Ken, James, and Derek, you meet him at the bottom of the stairs. What group? Don't let audience name things. James and Derek, yeah. And he whispers to you,
There are some people above. It looks like dark tidings.
all right. Didn't think that sentence through properly, but
There are some people above.
Oh, I love a
All
dark
right,
time.
Gert. Gert, your debt has been discharged. You're free to go.
Thank you. The crab is keeping watch.
and then the gnome leaves.
Bye.
So I'm really worried about the babies, and despite being quite terrified, I am going to try and stealthily click, clack across and somehow disrupt the circle for the ritual to prevent the murder of the babies in my crab form.
The babies are not in the circle.
But I feel
just
like
so you know.
soon they're going to be.
Cool.
That's my concern.
Yep.
So I'm going to try and get over and just, I don't know what, I like scrape some blood off the floor or like blow out a candle. Can crabs blow? I don't know.
I'd love to see it. If there's a candle, they're great at snuffing it out. Yeah. But the crab, you can make your way and you can start just chipping. How have we gotten to this point? A crab chipping away at a ritual circle. Yeah, that's fine. You just start scraping away at the circle. And you think you see a tiny like arcanic sizzle. Coming up off the circle as if it's like discharging.
I think I'm going to get caught quite soon, but I carry on scraping despite my fear.
Brave little crab.
The elf continues, when I have discerned our location, we shall make for the next ingredient. The land is bountiful with resources and should provide. And the babies at that point start screaming louder and louder and louder. And then he turns his head. And as he turns his head, you can see that his eyes are pure black. You don't see any whiteness in them. And you can see that he has just a horrific wound, kind of like a huge implement kind of slammed into the side of his head, almost a piece missing. And he says, I think it might be time to dispose of these infants.
I carry on scraping even harder.
What do you guys want to do? You hear that as well downstairs.
She said wait, didn't she? Wait for the commotion.
I'm not going to wait.
She said
let
wait
kids
for the
die.
commotion.
There's no...
She said wait.
She's a capable crab.
And in my crabby mind, I'm like, okay, they haven't noticed me scrape at the floor, which was a surprise because I thought they would.
Yeah.
So now it's time to go full crab nuclear. And she scuttles sideways and tries to run up his arm and up his leg, up his body, and just get into that horrible injury on his face and just.
Yeah.
So that's the elk noise.
Nightmarish.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a crab grapple. So it's going to be a contested crab grapple.
A crabble.
The old crab grapple. It's that time of year. It's going to be a contested athletics.
Athletics.
Or just add your strength.
That's strength, isn't it? My stat on strength is -4.
Yeah.
So that's a 2 from me.
He rolled a 17.
Okay.
So as you scuttle up, he's going to go and throw you across the room into the wall, which is going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm dead. I was worried that might have happened, but the babies.
How many hit points did you have?
As a crab?
Yeah.
2.
Just the druid rules. Do you at 0? Can anyone in the audience? Do you revert back, or do you just
I do.
die?
Unconscious. I do. I revert back.
Okay.
Unconscious
So
on the floor.
How many?
Go on.
How many hit points have you in total lost then? Because you had 2 hit
Well,
points.
that means she goes to 0
0.
and then reverts and goes straight back to her full health.
Oh, but she's unconscious. That's why I'm confused. So she's on full health, but she's unconscious.
I think I've just back, so I'm just stood there in the room now.
Let's make a decision.
mind us.
Let's
Don't
assume
mind us.
for the purposes of this that you revert, but you are conscious and you're back to full health. The elf just throws this crab along the side of the to the other room. It makes a little crack, and then it just explodes into full size into this druid, who then drops to the ground.
And I just shout, commotion!
Here, boys. That's our go signal.
You turn to see, try and see me, but I've already sprinted up.
All I see is your just cloak going up the stairs.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, you run up the stairs, and the elf, the goblin, and in the corner of the golem, they're in front of you.
Oh,
you
bloody
can now
hell.
see this full ritual circle, and it has some scorch marks around some of the lines you can see from your vantage point.
Nice. And just to clarify,
Yes.
Busby is just prone.
Lying prone
Yeah.
on the
Down,
floor,
but conscious.
side of the
Absolutely.
room.
All right.
Screaming the words commotion over
Nice.
and over and over again.
Busby, you all right?
Not really.
What is the meaning of this? Says
Get
the
away
elf.
from my crab. I just stand over Busby and it's a fighting pose. Ready to unleash hell.
The goblin says,
You will bow and scrape before the might of extra chili.
And I just
Yeah.
shut up.
the elf looks a little worried, and you also think that he's slouching and leaning heavily to one side. He looks in bad shape. You can see him full front, now that he's facing you. You can see that he's taken this huge damage to his side, but on his front you can also see these ritual markings on his
so
chest.
he looks kind of arcane, infused, not infused magic, but like he knows magic.
He looks like he's been part of a ritual.
Cool.
Sensing this, I just want to smash him up.
Yeah.
I also want,
Flying kick in his face.
Okay. Everybody can take a surprise round.
Oh, sweet.
We won't roll initiative just yet.
Great.
Okay, nice.
Okay. So with the flying kick,
Yes.
I'm going to use another one of my special key points, and he has to make a Constitution save. Oh, let me see if I roll to hit him. 17.
It's a hit.
Constitution save.
It's a 5.
He fails. He's stunned until his end of my next turn.
Okay. The elf drops to one knee and is shaken. Anything else?
The damage from that hit is 5, by the way.
Very nice.
Do we get advantage to hit
No.
a stunned enemy?
The DM, no.
Don't think you do with stuns.
Stunned, and the incapacitated creature can't take actions or reactions, can't move or speak. Auto fails dex and strength saving throws. Attack rolls have advantage.
Boom, there you go. Take advantage on your attack
Great.
roll,
And with
James.
the other, I'm going to just unleash hell on him as well.
Okay, fine. Take a second shot, yeah.
So flying kick in the
Cheap
face,
shot.
brings out the nunchucks, just goes again.
Yeah.
Hits
Monk
him
stuff.
twice.
Yeah.
1 for a 24 and 1 for a 14.
Hit and hit.
Sweet.
10, 6, 16.
16. All right. James, what are you doing?
I'm going to shout at Geth, "Here, get him, Geth!" And then I'm going to run up and just start swinging the sword and the hammer with reckless abandon.
Yes.
So let's see. 11 versus AC. 22 versus AC.
Yeah.
10 versus AC. No, wait. 10 versus AC. 19.
Maths is fun.
It's great. And 27. So that's 3 hits, I think.
3 hits.
3 hits. Cool. Okay.
Can we come to in a second?
We really need some dramatic music.
Yeah. 20,
Audience, can you use some dramatic music while
Don't do that. Yeah, it's a nightmare. A rowdy.
I do 25 points of damage to the stunned elf.
Ken.
So I'll look at the golem, and I think that's going to be a threat. So I say, you're going to soil yourself, and I cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
What does that do?
That means a compacted hand made of earth springs from the floor and grabs something and holds it and crushes it. But you need to make a strength saving throw, which actually you might be quite good at.
It is quite good. 17.
Okay. You win this round, Golem. I mean, you actually.
Water at all. And lastly, Busby.
How big is the room?
It's 40 feet by 40 feet.
Lit. Okay, so I cast Thunder Wave in a 15-foot box.
Yep.
So I think I'm probably gonna get the goblin and the elfie bastard
And the babies.
and the babies.
Pro tip, don't kill the babies.
I
Babies.
changed my mind and I cast Talk to Plants. No, I'm just gonna hit with some more acid sparrows. And it has to take a Constitution saving throw, please.
Again, sorry, who?
Against the elfie bastard.
It is a 10.
It fails. So,
Blah. This is the problem with like relatively high level characters. Is like roll.
it takes 24 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Nice. Them sparrows.
With this sudden onslaught, because we're nearly out of time, the elf is thrown across the room and slams into the back of the wall and drops down by the babies. And as he does that, he throws his head back and this just black smoke emits from his mouth and swoops up into the room. And you think you see a kind of human face almost for a second form in the smoke. And it makes this kind of grunting, gargling, guttural noise before it smashes out through the wall. The golem doesn't activate. The goblin just runs.
Oh.
And you're left.
I chase after him.
The goblin's gone. The goblin's gone. The goblin teleports. The goblin's gone.
Oh, damn you, goblin!
And you are left alone with the elf. And the elf lays panting on the ground. Then he shakes his head and he looks at you with regular eyes. They're no longer, completely black, and
Does
they
he
are
still
white.
have a horrific wound on his face?
He does. He looks rather worse for wear, but he is alive.
Let me help.
Don't you go near.
Go into the light. Go into the light. Yeah.
No, I will really. I will.
And he
help.
says, "Thank you. My name is Jan Yakov Tinglehammer.
Yay!
How unlikely.
You've saved me."
Yes, we did.
We met your father, but unfortunately, when I looked to Ken, he passed away.
You did, yes.
No.
So no fault of anyone present here. at all.
He struggles to his knees and then he says, "Oh, my babies," and he scoops up the babies and he begins to kind of coo to them.
Oh, he did mention you had some children.
He says, "Yes." He says, "Meet your saviors, darlings." There are 2. They're just a month old. Now, this little lady, this is Jennifer, and this young man is Yennefer. I mean, Venifer, not Yennefer. Which? Jennifer and Venifer. He says, "I'm the owner of this house. Pleased to meet you."
Oh, it's a pleasure. Ken. Oh, man.
The name's Derek Tangerine.
Yeah. He looks out the window and he can see that, he's just in another world. He kind of balks and he shakes his head and he turns to you and he says, I tried one of the summoning spells from this book, and he holds up this manual in his hands. And he says, I found it a week ago. It was left on my front doorstep. But, well, I tried to summon a spell for chicken salt. And in fact, I seem to have taken my village to another dimension altogether. Extra chili inhabited my body. He sensed the magics and he brought his goblin horde with him.
We've all been there. Kind of.
But listen, my friends, Extra Chili, he conveyed some of his understanding of the culinary arts to me. I would like to experiment with a more non-vegan lifestyle. Not to slaughter them, I stress, but when they pass of natural cause, I would like to, in celebration of their lives,
Bring them back from the dead?
bring them back from the dead and make use of them.
Oh, cool.
No, I would like to try. I would like to try the chicken wing trade.
Oh.
Oh.
Right.
Would you care? It seems I need protection in this venture. Would you care to join me?
If you've got use for a giant elk, then very much so.
How about crabs? Crabs as well?
Yeah, and crab. But maybe less dangerous things for the crab.
Could be a side venture.
I've currently got 50% off 50% off voucher for chicken wings. So
That's a fantastic idea.
I'm all about the ideas, man. So yeah, let's join forces.
For
And-
want of anything better to do.
Jan Yakov Tinglehammer says, excellent, and he claps his hands. I've already drawn up some concept designs. This is going to be the beginning of everything. And he takes you over to a table, still intact in the edge of the room, and he shows you several simple sketches of banners and design ideas, and beneath them in bold lettering reads, the Chicken Consortium. And we'll end there. Thank you very much.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Thank you so much to our live audience and to everybody across the various platforms for their suggestions that made it into the show. If yours didn't make it, fear not, we're going to carry the pile over into future episodes. Check us out on Instagram and the Twitters at DragonWingsPod, and we'll see you for the regular campaign episode next Tuesday. Laters!